Welcome everybody back here live for the Alexander PC's ARCA West Series. Simultaneously live with the ARCA East. I'm your host, Bradley Cooper, alongside, hopefully Sky Shrek will make it here in just a moment, but Ducky Beard providing our cameras here this evening. It's deep into the season now, and we're looking at this schedule. Only 2 races left before the round of 8. Gateway. We're going to stay in Tennessee for these next 2 weeks in this egg-shaped oval. We talked about it a little bit. We'll show it here on the screen while we have an opportunity. But look at Gateway. Worldwide Technology Raceway. 1.25 miles flat. Kind of a hybrid between Darlington with the unsymmetrical turns and then New Hampshire with the very flat and very shallow bank. 11 degrees in 1 and 2, 9 degrees in 3 and 4. Should be a challenge for the drivers here this evening. And I'm excited to start this one off. We have over 37 cars out here on the racetrack here today, with Justin Klein at the tail end of the field. So with that in mind, it's time to take you down trackside. Get that grid up on the screen. And your pole award going to Peyton Hubbard, the Jam Printing and Promotions pole award with the 018. Going to start up front. 80 laps here this evening as we get set to roll off on the grid. Rest of your grid up on the screen. So we have a 33.52 for Peyton Hubbard. Mark Whitley, your points leader, coming in the pro side, will start to his outside. Jacob Ellingson and Sean Kaser will start in 4th position. Then you have row number 3 with Jake Ham and Brandon Wallace. Back here for row number 4 with Brock Price, Chuck Phelps in the top 10 with Trevor Dyer and Gene Wolfe in the 642. Brennan McDonald, starting in 11th with David Calvert Sr. in 12th position. 13th going to Chris Bargetti, Jerry Ward. Then you have Daniel Parks and Skylar Daly, Hayden Muir, and Ashton Asario Nolan start in 18th position. There's your top 20 as we roll around here with Kevin Price. Thaddeus Friel Jr. and J.R. Schomburg will start 22nd. Then Casey Bristow, Paul Shaw in 24th. Joshua Thornton and Tyler Clements will start in row number 13. We'll continue that grid down at the bottom of your screen as the pace car will pull off and we get set to go here this evening. 2 races left before elimination and playoffs. Who's it going to be? Whitley to the outside, Hubbard on the inside. Green flag is out and we're underway at Gateway. Already problems for the 18, and the caution is out on lap number 1. You saw it there on the entrance of turn 2, and the 018 already destroyed. The 025 involved, Brandon Wallace in the 99. This happening right out of the gate. Slid up in front of the 74. Just nowhere to go for these cars behind. Racetrack clogs up quickly. I want to see on board here with Whitley. On board with the 74, you're going to see the 18 just sliding right up in front of him. And that's really not on Whitley. That's kind of on Peyton Hubbard there. Send it deep into the corner to try to slide up in front of him. Didn't fully commit there, and already a problem for Peyton Hubbard. He'll get the black flag and an EOL and a meatball flag on top of that. So the promise of starting on the pole with that Jam Printing and Promotions pole award, there's never a guarantee here. So far, Not good. With the 018. Mark Whitley takes over the top spot and is going to lead the first lap under a caution. Am driver Brock Price started in the third spot and has stayed there so far, but really we only got to drive one corner, so most of these positions did not change hands. With that incident, Trevor Dyer and Brennan McDonald were able to gain 3 positions, work their way closer. Dyer into the top 5 now. That's Chuck Phelps rolling here. Started in 7th. Still in that position. Okay, we'll take the race analysis up on your screen. 80 laps here today. 4 tire sets available. 3 over the wall. 2 green, white checkered attempts. We do have 1 fast repair. 65% fuel, so that'll put these drivers right around that 35 to 40 lap mark, and with this caution should extend them to a 1-stop race. So we double back up. Whitley has led a lot of laps this season, but I don't think we've ever seen him take the lead quite like that. Usually pretty clean. Well, already some drama early in this race. Pace car's off. Let's try this again. Live in racing from Gateway. It's ARCA West. And already problems again. I'm not sure what's going on, but we've got a parking lot on the front stretch. The 25 car flies in the air. Every car involved here. It is... wow. Got nothing for this right now. Maybe we should keep the safety car out there. They were wrecking under caution. Wheel spin, the 092 gets into the back of Sean Kaser, and then the 25 just gets lobbed over this pile of cars. That is very unique. I've never seen anything like that. But as you can see, a complete track blocker here. That one's going to have to be bookmarked. Definitely a unique situation there for the 25. I don't think I've ever seen a car get lobbed, almost like he was catapulted over the barricade there. I've seen a lot here in the ARCA West Series, but 2 cautions. We've driven green a total of 500 feet here tonight, folks. And I would probably be an easier time for me to mention the names not involved in that incident just now. So let's take you through it. Mark Whitley, Jake Ellingson, Brock Price, Trevor Dyer, Chuck Phelps, Thaddeus Friel, Jake Ham, Hamza Khan, Ashton Asario Nolan, and Gene Wolfe were the only cars. The rest of the field, we haven't even had an opportunity to show the ticker yet, so we'll put that up on the screen. Everybody else involved. everybody out there in the chat tonight. If I sound a little congested, just know I am feeling a little bit under the weather. I think it's early onset right now, so hopefully we can get through this ARCA event. But if we're gonna have cautions like this, I might be full-fledged diagnosed by the end of it. Usually drinking a little bit of broth and try to help here. But just like my sinuses, the front stretch completely clogged up there. We're going to battle this. We're going to actually extend the caution by 1 lap. Pace car going to stay out here as a lot of the field's trying to get sorted in the back. But it's Mark Whitley leading the pro side, Brock Price leading the AM side. And these positions really have not changed hands. Jacob Ellingson, who got a good finish there in the Truck Series, finally was able to put a race together, got a podium finish just last week at Charlotte. Gonna come out here in this flat racetrack, but if I remember correctly, he had a good run in the trucks at this track until about the halfway point. That's where it went south for him. So hopefully the luck changes here in ARCA West. You can also tune in to the East Series. Eddie Smith and Daniel Cunningham running that show in real time. Again, thank you for tuning in. Baron, holy moly, unbelievable. Just missed the 85. Get it? Not really sure. Bobby in the booth. He'd be here with y'all. I don't know if he want to be out here right now, based off of what we've seen for the first 9 laps of this event. Is it going to be the one right here? Here we go, green. Looks like we will. Everybody single file from about 10th on back. Let's see if we can get this week's race underway. Looking 3 wide back here with Chuck Phelps in the middle. Cars scattering everywhere. A lot of cars with damage still. The 03 just ahead. And balls on the outside. Based off position right now on this racetrack, Thaddeus Friel has worked his way up to 2nd position. Chuck Phelps hemorrhaging a lot of spots really quickly. I think he needs to get a little bit more aggressive. Scott has just got by. Some cars mixed into this as well. 642 machine. Gene Wolfe. Actually a lap down right now because of the pit stop. Up front, it's Mark Whitley by about 9/10 of a second as they cross the stripe. Jake Ellingson and Trevor Dyer. Your top 3 in pro. Brock Price, Thaddeus Friel. Friel reeling in a 43 machine rather, in the 08. Starting to catch up. Man, I'm all over the place here tonight. All I can think about is that first incident that we saw that shaped up the lead, and then follow that up with the entire field pretty much involved in an incident. Not the highlight reel you probably want to create in the first 10 laps of an event. That's where we are right now in ARCA West. Riding on board with Brandon Wallace. Running in the 5th spot. Contact here to the inside. 25 gets into the door there. That was the car that got catapulted just a moment ago. He's actually running 3 laps down right now, but that was Joshua Thornton who gave the little tag to the door. And will get by the 99, trying to work his way back up here. Battle shaping up, though, for second spot in the pro class, as Brock Price is actually showing some speed against these pro drivers. Last time by, Brock Price was faster than Mark Whitley, your leader. Whitley out to a good cushion here as we watch a battle for second off the outside of turn 2. Ellingson going to hold on to the spot. That allows Brock Price to get to the outside. Not able to complete that pass in the 64. Going to ride the 43 way up here in the 3 and 4. The shallower corner. Harder to get a run on the outside on this side of the racetrack. You can do it in 1 and 2, but out here, even though there's more banking, it's a little more difficult to get that drive out. They have left the rest of this field 2.4 seconds over Skylar Daly and Thaddeus Friel. The side-by-side, though, for the lap down traffic back here. It's around the 20th position. Hayden Muir in the 84, Justin Klein in the 721. We almost had some contact coming off of that turn. Brendan McDonald started in 19th position. On the move now to the outside. That's I believe that's Asma Khan. No, I'm wrong on that. Numbers a little bit all over the place here with all these cars a lap down. So it's kind of difficult to tell who's in what position, but right now your top 10 is Price, Daly, Friel, Phelps, Khan, Price, Margetzi, Montgomery. Actually, scratch that, go up here and get the proper names here in the top 10. So, top 5 with Khan. Then you have Osario Nolan, Daniel Parks, Reed Smith, Dean Wolf, and David Calbert in the 41. 2 of the top 10 a lap down as we watch 3 wide coming off of this corner. That's Chris Margetzi stuck in the sandwich right now. 85 to the outside. Contact leaning on the inside driver. We'll hold on to it. The 909 way down the racetrack there. Top 10 with and now on to the pro class with Whitley, Ellingson, Dyer, Ham, Wallace, Hubbard. You have Sean Kaser and a caution out. If we can locate it. And here's a 4 wide moment here. Going into 1 and 2. And it just doesn't work out off the corner. Gets loose on his own inside wall. That's Ronnie J. Morrison involved in this one. We have an opportunity. We'll thank one of our sponsors. It's the main title sponsor of the ARCA West Series, Alexander PC. Work, play, and conquer. Alexander PCs has you covered. Veteran owned and operated. I'd like to thank them for being the premier sponsor here in ARCA East and West. The 74 of Whitley will lead the drivers down pit road. 45 miles per hour, the pit road speed limit. Some of these drivers staying out to get the wave by. Most of that top 10 not coming down the last time. This will be the first stop, about a third of the way through, actually a quarter of the way through this race. As Whitley is down and away, Ellingson, and the battle off of pit lane with Price, Daly, Feltz, and Nolan. We're going to take a quick commercial break here on V-Speed. You are watching the Alexander PC ARCA West Series. We'll be back with more coverage live on V-Speed right after this.
Superior quality, ultimate protection, and the highest level of craftsmanship. We make our gloves for the hard worker that wakes up every morning and gives 110%. You deserve the highest quality protective gear that's going to work for you, day in, day out. We know it can be tough deciding what companies to trust for your hard-earned money. It's all in our name. We've mastered our craft to help you master yours. We make our gloves rugged, durable, and designed for you. Whatever the job is, we have you covered. We are your glove station.
A thriving job market and low cost of living, plus a wide range of veteran benefits, make Indiana the perfect place for veterans of the United States military to call home. InVets can help you find that home. We're an organization started by veterans to help former service members transition to civilian life in our state. InVets can help you find the community with the career opportunities, housing, schools, and amenities that fit your lifestyle. To learn more about InVets, visit us at invets.org today.
Sebastian Marin, your first repeat top split winner of the qualifying series.
We knew it was just a matter of time when Hunter Sr. is victorious.
Josh Adams taking the win at Iowa.
GC Spider Motorsports takes home the 1-2-3 finish.
Welcome back here live. ARCA West back racing. Two drivers stayed out. Good eye there. Apparently wrote in the chat. So no wave arounds. Free pass position going to the 642 of Team Wolf. So 14 cars now on the lead lap. Go through this field. It has been a rather dramatic start here today. 3 cautions and 3 lead changes as Whitley takes back the top spot. Trevor Dyer, who stayed out with, I believe it was Thaddeus Friel in the 08. So 26 laps on the stint. With only 3 tire sets available and the rate of cautions that we've had here so far, this might be the play as we watch 3 wide.
This is
around the 15th position. These cars a lap down. John Kaiser getting by. He'll be the first car a lap down. And the 46 was able to clear that. He's actually working his way up into the cars that are not a lap down. There's Brandon Wallace in the 99. Gene Wolf, who just got his lap back, getting buried deep in this field now. Contact with the wall. The 84 bounces off of it. That was Mirror, and heavy damage to the front end of the 642. Tore the entire nose piece off that car. Contact on the exit of turn 4. Mirror hits the safer barrier and bounces back into the 642, tears the entire front end off of it. And now starting to hemorrhage positions. Chuck Phelps racing with Thaddeus Friel. This is for 4th position in the AM class. On board with Chuck Phelps. On 10th on the racetrack, has pro class driver Brandon Wallace going by on the outside. Two pro drivers going by, and one of them a lap down right now. 46 has a lot of speed, but not actually gaining any spots right now. Phelps just being cordial and courteous right now. Doesn't want to get involved with anything. Phelps, last time by, was about a full second slower than your front of the field. 34.155 for Chuck Phelps. It was a 33.427 for Mark Whitley in the lead. The cars battling for that free pass position. Sean Kaser has left these cars, but it's McDonald starting to race a little bit here with the 46. The rest of the field about 1.5 seconds behind this battle. This is for position, 15th spot. And it's Skylar Daly, who just took over the AM lead a moment ago. He got by Brock Price and Trevor Dyer. Dyer on older tires has fallen back to 5th on the racetrack, 3rd in the pro class. And Jake Ellingson, 2.5 seconds back, will ride on board with the 27. Ellingson's luck finally maybe turning around here. Watched a lot happen to him this season. But right now, where he's sitting, able to avoid the carnage there in the first 2 cautions. Pretty spread out for the rest of the field. You can see Whitley up there ahead. But Skylar Daly just over half a second behind. Nothing to worry about right now if you're the 27. No reason to push it. Closest battle on the racetrack right now. Chuck Phelps, Daria Nolan in the 42. It's about 2/10 separating these drivers. And a cluster of cars on back with Paul Shaw, Chris Bargetzi, David Calvert. Calvert with a little bit of right front damage, holding in the 21st, 11th in the M class. Kerry Ward moving up. It's actually down 4 positions. Biggest mover of the race so far. Bree Smith in 12th position. Started in 32nd. So approaching the halfway point here with Mark Whitley and a massive commanding lead. Whitley overall has just been dominant this season. No surprise that it will pick up right where we left off from last week. The driver that's turned his season around. Here's Jacob Ellingson. With some drivers looking for their first win and some drivers looking for a repeat. Skylar Daly in the AM class has a win. Has a couple this season. Drivers to talk about as we'll look at our extreme scoring.com points. And it's in the East class, Joseph McWhorter with 2 wins leading the points. 27 points ahead of Jeremiah Holt. Pro West Mark Whitley with 5 victories. Brandon Wallace with a victory. Jake Ham and Christian Angel. Only drivers to win in the pro class. And AM East, it's Samuel Joseph, Mark Cofield, 12 points behind. 2 wins for Samuel Joseph, 1 win there for Cofield. You also have Patrick Fuller, Jamie Libke, Carves Aber with a victory over there. Corey Vaughn deep in the points now, but Mark Barcelos, another one of those drivers to get a win. And then for AM West, Dave Calbert leading the points coming in this week. Thaddeus Friel Jr. second, 2 points behind. Skylar Daly has 2 wins. Calbert has 2 as well, with Thaddeus Friel on 1 win. Daniel Parks. A lot of variety here with Joshua Thornton also in victory lane. Doug Macedo winning the season opener. And the points are tight. Coming into tonight, checking in there on Thaddeus Friel. He's fallen back to 4th in the AM class, 9th overall on the racetrack, and a caution comes out. I believe it's this 905 maybe involved here. Peyton Hubbard driving slowly, already had problems through this race to start the whole thing off. Started from the pole, hasn't been able to get back on the lead lap, and locks it up here into 1 and 2. Is going to overcorrect into the outside wall, and that will put us under another caution here today. 4th one of the evening. The 018 will bring it down pit road, as will the rest of the field. Reed Smith going to stay out on the racetrack to lead a lap. Mark Whitley down pit road. Jake Ellingson. They also have Con, who's going to stay out in the 905. About 20 laps on the tires for both those drivers. It didn't work out last time for Dyer. Didn't work out last time for Thaddeus Friel. The fall off on these tires is about a full second every 10 laps. So it will level off there by about lap 20 on the run, but we haven't really had the opportunity to have a full green flag run. So a lot of these drivers have tried to experiment with the tire fall off. And it's not a bad idea to have an extra set in the pits when you need it most, maybe with that 10 to go. It's so difficult to pass here this evening. We've seen it a lot. And the good news for Mark Whitley, these 2 drivers are AM class, so he did not lose the lead after pit road. But with those 2 cars staying out, they're going to trap the rest of this field a lap down. John Kaser, your free pass position in the 46, but it's Tyler Clemens, Justin Klein, Brendan McDonald, a lot of cars, a lot of people in the AM class are trapped a lap down. A few of them from the pro class, you have Ronnie Morrison, Peyton Hubbard, who we just saw have problems there 3 laps down, Casey Bristow, Jared Schomburg, Brendan McDonald, all trapped a lap down. So if you continue to trap these guys, it makes it a little bit easier to maintain your position. You're an AM class driver right now. You want these drivers to stay, half this field to stay a lap down. You're pretty much guaranteed a top 10 at this point. His car will pull off for the 5th time today. Into the extreme scoring restart zone we go with Kareem Smith and Hazma Khan leading the front row. 20 lap stint on the tires. Green flag underway. Mark Price in the background there had a little bit of a rocky restart. Maybe a little bit of tire spin. As we go off the corner, we're looking 3 wide, 4 wide. Kareem Smith to the outside. And fresher tires moving through this field. 64, Trevor Dyer was not shy to take it that way. 4 wide down the backstretch. Take a look at it from our blimp camera. 2 cars got up in the wall. Kareem Smith, a 905. There's a look at the 4 wide. Got it. Could have been my sinuses interfering with that. We're wide again behind here. And then all these cars mixing it up. It's hard for me to find the positions of these drivers because we've got half the field a lap down. We've got a car spinning in the background. It's Jerry Ward in the 072 inside wall. Caution is out for the 5th time. Attack there. Coming off of turn 2. Get a better angle at this, see who that was behind. The 90 car in the mid-69, and I think this 072 of Jerry Ward got loose on his own prior to that. Ronnie Morrison had nowhere to go. Watch on board with him. A little tight there, actually had to lift out of the throttle. And that creates the domino effect. So still half this field trapped a lap down. Repass position. Should go to the 113. Might have been Gene Wolfe in the 642. I think we had a caution between that though. So I think it will go to this driver right here. Everybody will drop down to the left-hand side, and there goes Schomburg to get back on the lead lap. So another one. Racing for position. It's Mark Whitley leading 39 of the 46 laps completed here today. Ellingson has been riding in the 2nd spot all evening. And even though Might lose about a second and a half, 2 seconds in the long run. Staying ahead of Trevor Dyer. That's the focus. Skylar Daly in the 22 will be starting just behind the front row. Daly has led around 15, 20 laps. 22 has been up here. And that Goat Locker themed, that's a Coors Light scheme. Get a better look at that. Nicely done. Whitley and Ellingson, the front row, continuing where they began this race. Just in the opposite way. Ellingson actually up 1 spot, started in 3rd. Skylar Daly up 7 spots, 13 positions gained. Reed Smith, who stayed out that last restart, actually lost a lot of ground, will fall back to 14th on the racetrack. And here we go, back into the extreme scoring restart zone. Back underway with a big jump here from the 74 of Whitley. Dive to the inside by Skylar Daly, not for position. Got to the inside of Ellingson. Trevor Dyer going to try to take away 3rd on the racetrack. Inch down here from Daly. We'll get back to the throttle a little bit early. I think Dyer could clear here. Pinch down. Double diamond the exit. We'll stay side by side down the front stretch. Just behind that, it's Brock Price and Daniel Parks in the 71 side by side. Parks. That was his hands full as the 64 couldn't complete that pass on the 22. Got really loose off the exit. It interferes with the battle between him and Brock Price. This is for 2nd in the M class. Taking an onboard look here with Parks. Still not able to clear the 43, and down on the inside doesn't seem to be working anymore. At least through 3 and 4. Let's see with the downshift if the 71 can get by. Still had the nose in there on the exit of 2. Ends up settling out single file here in 6th. Thaddeus Friel Jr. back on the same cycle of tires, and now it looks like the 08 is on the move. Battling here with Brandon Wallace. Thaddeus Friel 2 points away from the points lead. David Calvert in the 41. 41 car is actually trapped a lap down right now in 19th, 10th overall on the racetrack, 19th overall on the racetrack, 10th in your AM class. This could be the opportunity for Thaddeus Friel to make up those points, 6 positions ahead of the 41. Parks as the caution comes out. I believe it's Okie Montgomery involved, and another track blocker here into the entry of what appears to be turn 1. There's contact with the wall in the background here, but I don't think that's the cause of this. Actually just out ahead of the 55. There was 441 involved, the 113 who had just got back on the lead lap. Okie Montgomery in the 55, along with Chris Bargetzi. You had the 90 involved in this as well. See if we can back this up and figure out exactly who or where this started. Send here to the inside after the fact, but it was the 025 who had initial contact. There's a checkup in front. Slides loose. It actually saves it, but that's what causes this stack up behind and brings us to our 6th caution of the evening. So Mark Whitley all the way down to Chuck Phelps stay out on the racetrack. A few drivers maybe electing to take those 4 tires they kept earlier. So we'll cycle through for another lap. Another quick break here on V-Speed. You are watching the Alexander PC's ARCA West Series. More coverage will continue in just a moment.
I hope you're ready. This is going to be exciting.
And we got the restarts up we go. Green flag is out and we're underway.
Just a few laps into this. Oh, the 37's getting loose. Oh, and he saves it. Oh, they're going 3 wide.
We've got a 5-way fight for the win of this race coming to 4 laps to go. He's gonna win it here in spectacular fashion.
Doubled back up here at Gateway after our 6th caution of the evening. Another driver got back on the lead lap. That was Brennan McDonald in the 092. So now 18 cars. I take that back. It was Hamza Khan in the 905 that just got back on the lead lap. So 17 cars on the lead lap now. Mark Whitley, Jacob Ellingson for another restart. Last in the field with 74. We get a long green flag run. Can Jake Ellingson catch up? A lot of wheel spin here with about 15 laps on the tires. And another rocket launch for Mark Whitley into turn 1. Big gain here down the backstretch. Side by side behind him. Dive to the inside. There was a look there from Brock Price, not able to get it done. Car that is back on the lead lap of the Pro Series. Sean Kaiser in the 46. Looked like he was going to get around Chuck Phelps for a moment there. Phelps pinned up on the outside, running 4th in the AM class. 46 has had an up and down evening. This went from being back in 16th position, a lap down, back on the lead lap. Had a lot of damage there from that lap, I believe lap 5 incident on the restart. Had to burn a fast repair to get back up here, but running 5th now in the Pro class. Car in the wall in the background. That's Nolan in the 42. He's going to make him 3 wide. Green Smith looking to the bottom. He's going to back out of it, but here comes the 08 of Thaddeus Friel to take it there anyway. Backs out of it as well. Again, with 41 of David Calvert being deep in this field. 14th now on the racetrack. So right on board with Thaddeus Friel. 5th position right now in AM. Make up a lot of points. Definitely could take the points lead after tonight. But with Skylar Daly, Brock Price ahead of him by about 3 positions. It's going to be interesting. Brock Price getting this win to help overall when we reset the points to the round of 8. Another moment back here with Nola. Really loose off of turn 4. Spargetzi. Hayden Muir. Saw Muir getting into the outside wall earlier. Spargetzi will go by. It's a battle for the AM lead. Brock Price looked to the inside for just a moment on Skylar Daly. Ended up costing him some ground. And Brandon Wallace will work his way by. Top 3 right now for the 99. Daly going to get a good run off. Wallace looking really good here to the inside of the 22. Jacob Ellingson about a second ahead. The 99 has not been able to get around the 22 for a while. And we're under 20 laps to go, so running out of time to get up here. Hey, Cam just behind the 99 for position. Battle for the lead between the 22 and 43. That would be M-Class lead. Then you have battle for top 3 in the Pro Series. Car in the background. That's Trevor Dyer to the inside wall. Caution is out again. The 113 that bounced off the wall. Let's try to get another look at it here. Dyer made it to the inside. But off of this corner, 113 bounces off the wall, overcorrects, gets into the 64. There you have it. Another caution here this evening. Could have been a lot worse there for Dyer. Doesn't look like he picked up too much damage from that. But this should bring everybody down pit road this time. And the 85 going to stay out of Jake Ham. He's 17 laps on the stint. So still, for these drivers, trapped a lap down from Brendan McDonald, Jerry Ward back. Not going to get the free pass. It will be the 092 for that lucky pass position. Single car going to get back on the lead lap. We'll have 18 drivers passing for position on the lead lap. Ricky Montgomery, Ronnie J. Morrison, Peyton Hubbard, Brian Froghire, all off the racetrack. The 85 staying out. Thaddeus Friel electing to do that as well. Hamza Khan, Mark Whitley will lose the pro lead on this next restart. Now that we got the sneezing fit out of the way, not a good day for me. Sinuses have been all over the place. I think it's the weather. It was 72 degrees yesterday. I was outside in a pair of shorts. Today, there's 3 inches of snow on the ground. I would argue that that's probably the reason for this. Just trying to keep myself together long enough to bring this ARCA West series to you fine folks out there in the chat. If you are enjoying tonight's broadcast and my butchering of names, make sure you hit that subscribe button. You'll never miss a single race. We have all 5 series of GLR. We go live on days that end with Y, with plenty of series across the board. From our Monday ARCA series, of course. Wednesday with Racing Revolution. The Truck series on Friday. So we've got the GT3 series. Saturday Night Racing League going live. Misfit Touring series just about to wrap up. Mystic Racing. You name it, we have a little bit of all of it. West Coast Sim. Just wrapped up our SF23 coverage there for Season 1 2026. And an unsafe entry for the 74. Mark Whitley will have to start deep in this field. It makes me feel pretty good that when I'm out here on these pace laps and maybe poking fun at myself a little bit, you guys respond. Brantley Roden from Harpoon Designs been a big part here on V-Speed. I know not directly all the time, but definitely a name that we know of. While we have a moment, we'll go ahead and shout them out at harpoondesigns.com. Of course, the car, Mark Whitley in the 74 that we've been paying attention to. Unfortunate there with that unsafe entry. Not the time for that to happen, as we'll have 13 to go. Wrap this thing up. This could be all she wrote. Jake Ham could run away with this, but we've also seen the 27. Jake Ellingson, also an unsafe entry. Something happened to the 74 and 27 as we were back underway. This shakes everything up. The drivers that were up front in the pro class all day, nowhere to be found. A send here from Brandon Wallace into 1 and 2. Thaddeus Friel to the AM lead. After staying out 13 laps on the tires, Hamza Khan also staying out. There's a little cushion here between the 08 and the 905, but Brock Price is going to bury it into 3. He'll get by the 905 quickly, and a caution back out. Deep in the field. Actually on the restart here that Alan Bergen had a problem. On the wall too. So I'm not exactly sure. Car down in the grass here. I believe that might have been Jake Ellingson in the 27. Trying to watch this replay between sneezes. Big checkup here. 022, and it's actually further ahead. It was the 42 machine. So one more try. There it is. There's the contact. Ashton Asaria Nolan able to get away cleanly. A big spin there. Yeah, we watched that entire replay between sneezes, and yeah, if you can't tell, my scenario is deteriorating. I tried my best. much Dayquil as I could put in my body legally. And it probably didn't help that I was doing drywall today. That's what everybody should do when your sinuses are bad, is just do drywall. It'll dry you out. It'll take care of it. My partner in crime here, Sky Shrek, not able to make it here tonight. I'll have to figure out exactly what went on, but there was a lot of severe weather through the Midwest, and a lot of different tornadoes last night. If you guys don't tune into Ryan Hall, I think he had a 14-hour stream last night of just continuous one after another. And that front rolled through here about 5 a.m. It was 60 degrees there around 4 o'clock, and by 1 o'clock it was snowing. Crazy. I'm ready for it to be over. This racetrack has also been changing. As we started out there, temperatures have come down a little bit. We're in that late evening transition. Track temperature at 86 degrees now. Should help with the grip. But Brandon Wallace looking at possibly the second win of the season. And Sean Kaiser to the outside. Vegas Friel Jr., Brock Price. Vegas Friel going to have his work cut out for him to get this AM win. And we will have 9 laps to go from Gateway. ARCA West Series. Brandon Wallace going to lead him into turn 1 after an unsafe entry for the 74 of Whitley, who's back up to 3rd in the pro class. Green flag back underway. Whitley deep in this field, though, has about 7 or 8 cars he has to pass to get back up here. Takes it to the outside, 3 wide. Has the fresh tires, can he make it? Still 3 wide down the backstretch. Chaos here with under 10 to go. 3 wide through 3 and 4. 22 of Skylar Daly lost the lead as well. Thaddeus Friel has a cushion. And it's Sean Kaser with the lead. 8 left. Just over 10 miles to go. Three wide just continues. Chuck Phelps has been put inside, outside, left, right. He's just trying to hold on to it with a send here from the 22 into the back. That was the 092 of Brendan McDonald. Daly moved him up out of the way. Contact with the wall. Daly makes contact with Phelps. Jake Ellingson just behind this, trying to work his way back up. We're going to stay green, but these cars with fresher tires getting a little impatient with the M-Class. Whitley up to 3rd, 5th overall on the racetrack. He'll get to the inside of Thaddeus Friel and Daniel Parks, and offset 3 wide through 3 and 4. 6 laps to go. Can Whitley get back to the front? You're Sean Kaser or Brandon Wallace. You want this race to stay green at this point. You do not want Mark Whitley. And there it is. Right on cue. Justin Klein to the outside wall. Here with the overhead to see if there was some help here. I believe there was, but I think the 721 came up the racetrack. So probably on Justin Klein here, but the 022 and the 84 going for style points to avoid that crash. I don't believe that was necessary. Just a complete lockup here. I mean, yeah. I guess to avoid hitting the 311 of Kyler Clemens. But at the same time, if there wasn't an incident in front of you there, I think you run over Tyler, so. But now with this reset, I think there was enough cushion with the laps to go that Sean Kaiser could have won this race. Brandon Wallace could have made it difficult for Mark Whitley, but now in this restart, going into turn 1, Whitley has the advantage. You want to be on the inside of 1 and 2. I think he'll be able to drive off and get by the 99 and pretty much have Sean Kaiser as a sitting duck into 3. Whitley's been bad fast tonight. His lap time's 0.2 faster than the cars in front of him. Ran a 33.088 best lap time here today. Nobody else on this field gotten below a 33.2. The class of the field is the 74 here this evening. Thaddeus Friel back in the AM lead. Has about a 10-lap disadvantage on tires to Daniel Parks and Brock Price, but has been able to hold it up here. And we should get a natural green-white checkered here if we go on the 1-to-go signal this time by. And we will. No overtime just yet. Have 2 attempts if we do have overtime. While we're under this pace lap. Back over at ARCA East. Looks like Joseph McWhorter has added another win on the season. Just wrap things up. John Kaser, leader of the Pro class. Thaddeus Friel, leader of the AM class. Brock Price offset with Mark Whitley. Going to have a great run here to the inside. Be able to time this restart with the 46, and there it is, just as I said it. Green-white checkered naturally occurring here as the 74 has already made work of the 99, and I believe Sean Kaser is going to have his work cut out for him here. Thaddeus Friel still the leader coming off the corner, but Daniel Parks gets to his inside. Defense being played by Brock Price. To the inside for the pro lead. Thaddeus Friel sideways, and the caution will come out. And we're going to overtime. Sean Kaser had just enough of a run there off the corner to maintain the lead. But the 08 of Thaddeus Friel is busted up. Pass by Parks off the turn 2. And right here, it goes wrong for the 08. Send to the back of the 71. And he needs to let that car stop. He needs to come to a complete stop. You're not going to get it to roll back. The entire field is coming. You've got to lock it down. I know that's not the feeling you want. You just hemorrhaged 10, 15 positions, but you have to lock it down. Everybody's coming here. The 072 has nowhere to go. And the turns have tabled yet again. David Calvert, back on the lead lap, is now ahead of Thaddeus Friel. You have the 22 of Skylar Daly. A quick math here for the Am West. Albert had the points lead by 2 points. Skylar Daly was 20 out. The win here will shave into that lead. Thaddeus Friel was second, 2 points away. Chris Bargetzi was 22 points out, so it's pretty tight up here in the AM class. Brock Price will be the leader. Price coming in. You can hear in the AM class. Trying to find Brock Price. 10th in points tonight. Lost 3 positions last week. 41 points out of the lead position. This should help a lot going in. It would be the first victory of the season. Noted on the pole, has not been able to put the races together. Has 1 podium finish so far. A win and you're in scenario. Brock Price could guarantee his slot, but outside the top 8. Needs this victory. First attempt at overtime here this evening. Sean Kaser was able to hold on to the lead by a fender coming off of turn 4. He'll have the 74 to the outside. Take the green flag with 2 laps to go. Brock Price, Daniel Parks for the AM lead. Parks has a couple pro drivers in between him for this restart. 80 laps wasn't enough. ARCA West into overtime. 2 to go. Are trying to defend. They're going to touch doors into 1 and 2. Off of the corner. Whitley takes the lead, gets such a good run off the exit. And Kaiser is going to fall back. Jake Ham side by side for 7th position. There's a sin to the inside on the 113. And Wallace going to clear for position. Will we make it to the white flag? We will. One more time around, presented by Glove Station. Brandon Wallace is going to slide it deep into 1 and 2. Car sideways, able to hold on to it. But the final time around for Whitley and Brock Price. As Brendan McDonald tries to complete a pass for the 3rd spot. Brandon Wallace is going to give him a door touch, send him up the racetrack. And that little move there with a crossover. Brandon Wallace will come home 3rd. Winner here today for the 6th time this season. Mark Whitley in the 74. He led 59 laps. And I do believe Brendan McDonald was not happy with Brandon Wallace. Brock Price getting the AM class win. Sean Kaiser coming home about half a second behind. Couldn't hold him off. Brandon Wallace with that move to the inside. So we'll burn it down here on the front stretch. Take it back on an instant replay. I have an opportunity. I want to show you what happened to Brandon Wallace here. We'll show you the move into the corner. 0.92, it got by on the outside. And Brandon Wallace just sends it into the corner, moves him up the racetrack here. Is able to get clear. Ellingson made some contact in the background there, got back up to fifth. But here's I don't appreciate that from the 0.92. Brock Price and Mark Whitley making their celebrations. Don't go anywhere. More coverage to continue. Post-race interviews with your winners of both classes and those final race results right after this.
Superior quality, ultimate protection, and the highest level of craftsmanship. We make our gloves for the hard worker that wakes up every morning and gives 110%. You deserve the highest quality protective gear that's going to work for you, day in, day out. We know it can be tough deciding what companies to trust for your hard-earned money. It's all in our name. We've mastered our craft to help you master yours. We make our gloves rugged, durable, and designed for you. Whatever the job is, we have you covered. We are your glove station.
A thriving job market and low cost of living, plus a wide range of veteran benefits, make Indiana the perfect place for veterans of the United States military to call home. InVets can help you find that home. We're an organization started by veterans to help former service members transition to civilian life in our state. InVets can help you find the community with the career opportunities, housing, schools, and amenities that fit your lifestyle. To learn more about InVets, visit us at invets.org today.
Back here in Madison, Illinois, Mark Whitley and Brock Price have found their way to victory lane with only a handful of racing left to be done before the elimination to the round of 8. Here's your pro results up on the screen. 7 cautions here today. Mark Whitley raced his way back up with about 5 to go to take the lead back over on that final green-white checker. Sean Kaser and Brandon Wallace. I'm going to have to ask Sean if it's Kaiser or Kaser. I just have to correct myself on that. I've been butchering names all day, so why not? Brandon Wallace getting a top 3. And it was Brennan McDonald who was not happy with him there at the end of this one. So a little retaliation. Jacob Ellingson races back up to 5th after getting buried in the same scenario that Whitley had on pit road. Casey Bristow will finish in 6th spot with Jake Ham, J.R. Schomburg in 8th. Trevor Dyer, Ronnie J. Morrison, and our final driver, Peyton Hubbard, who started on the pole this evening. He will finish 45 laps down. And results with Brock Price getting the victory. This is the first one of the season for him. He will lock himself into the round of 8. Skylar Daly will finish out in 2nd spot after leading some laps. Kareem Smith biggest mover of the race, up 18 spots. Congratulations to the driver of the 10, David Calvert, going to salvage the day. Not sure if Calvert will have the points lead or not after this one. It was pretty tight, but I believe the biggest loss there goes to the 08 of Thaddeus Friel. He's going to end up losing ground. We'll finish back in 10. You have Dean Wolf finishing in 5th spot. Sario Nolan in 6th, 7th. Hamza Khan, Chuck Phelps, Daniel Parks, and of course Thaddeus Friel. Chris Bargatze will finish in 11th spot. Paul Shaw. We have Tyler Clements, Alan Burgett, Kevin Price, Armando Melgoza, Hayden Muir, Justin Klein, Nick Trussell, and Joshua Thornton there for the top 20. 6 more cars to talk about here with David Calvert Sr. We also had Jerry Ward, Okie Montgomery, Brian Fahlheier, Daniel Creel, and Dawson Delaney rounding out the field here this evening. Now time to pull up your winners of Pro and Am class. The first driver we're going to pull up is Mark Whitley, your winner in the Pro class. No stranger to victory lane here. Mark, this race, it looked like it got thrown away. That mistake on pit road, kudos to you for driving back up through this field. It was dangerous at times, but you did it.
Yeah, I was a little confused. I didn't realize, I guess, that little box was a little bit closer than I thought it was. So just one of those careless mistakes that's, most of the time it's the kiss of death. And thankfully we were able to, get through the field really quick. I really wanted this one bad. One of my good buddies and teammate Christian, his mother passed away today, and his one ask of me was he wanted me to win the race for him. So I kind of felt like I had to. So apologies if I ruffled anybody's feathers coming back through there. I felt like I was driving possessed because I couldn't let him down. So I just had to get out there and get that win for him.
Well, Mark, you go back to the beginning of this race, and you were putting down 0.2 faster lap times than the rest of this field. Clean Air seemed like it was amazing, and that really is what I think boiled down to. You get back deep in this field, you kind of experience something different. Racing back there behind a car, it's a lot more difficult to keep this car planted where you want it to go.
Yeah, I mean, Clean Air is king pretty much with any stock car right now. This track, especially, it's kind of like that short track corner, so it's kind of weird. 3 and 4, it definitely gets aero tight. 1 and 2, if you can, it's a little bit slower of a corner, so you can get it turned down, and aero's not as big of a deal, but anywhere when you got no one in front of you, you can run whatever you want. It's obviously the best way to do it. So first part of the race, we're out in Clean Air, felt like we were the king of the world. Then make one mistake and you get back in the pack like that, and you just try to avoid the wrecks, and then had to try a bunch of different stuff to get around cars because passing in this track's usually not that easy. So I felt like I used up the front brakes a lot getting into one because it seemed like everybody was kind of backing it up a little bit, and I was really charging the corner. And thankfully it worked out, and I don't think we ruffled too many feathers. Hopefully coming through there.
You come in with a 43-point lead, 7 podiums, 5 wins. Now your 6th win of the season. Anybody you want to thank here, Mark, while we have you?
Yeah, like I said, I got to give the first shout out to Christian over there, man. I can't imagine what he's going through right now. I'm just glad I could come out here and, just give him a win, just to, maybe put a little smile on his face. I know right now what he's going through has got to be crazy. I just wouldn't want that to wish that on anybody. And then all the league sponsors here, without them, we wouldn't be here. Lincoln Tech, Save 22, the Indiana Department of Veteran Affairs, NVETS, ATYL, Alexander PCs, just, everybody to make this league. Without them, this league wouldn't be here. Brantley over Harpoon Design, he's does awesome work over there, does awesome paint jobs. Check him out at harpoondesign.com. Then my other sponsor, Jawa.gg. If you're looking for a new gaming PC or upgrade, they got you covered. Lots of good deals almost every day over there, so check them out. And like I said, just good shout out to the rest of the league. You guys putting on a broadcast, and hopefully it should be fun to go back and watch the race.
Well, I got to say, there's definitely a highlight here today, and it was the parking lot on the front stretch. So if anything, go watch that. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, I think that got the lineup a little screwy after that too.
Yeah, half the field buried a lap down for most of the day after that. So things got a little wonky, but congratulations again on the 6th win. And we'll see you next week at Nashville Super Speedway.
All right, thank you, man.
Pro winner, Mark Whitley, 6th win on this season. Like I said, now 8 podiums that he's come up with. He's going to have a dominant lead going in to the final race of the regular season into that round of 8. But the next driver we get to talk to is actually not that driver. It's Brock Price. So we get the proper graphic up on the screen. Brock Price, it's Bradley Cooper, am winner here. First win on the season. You picked a fine time to do it because there was only one more chance before we reset everything.
Yeah, it was a heck of a race tonight. I enjoyed it.
So you come out here with a little bit of strategy. I know things got mixed up, but a lot of the AM drivers getting buried a lap down. And unfortunately for you, you just had to maintain. I mean, you were up ahead of all of the carnage that happened, especially early in this race. So walk us through a little bit about maybe your mindset when all these things were happening and we kept changing strategies.
Honestly, I was just trying to stay with the leaders and do what they did and hope to miss all the wrecks and everything. And I just kind of stayed on that game plan, and it worked out.
Starting this race off, we saw you actually up there racing with the top 3, and that was the pro drivers that were up there in that top 3, holding pace. You had raced around Brandon Wallace, Jake Ellingson, and a few others, keeping pace with them. So it looked like you definitely had it dialed in tonight.
Yeah, I seem to really do good at these tracks like this, like here, Dover, places like that. I don't know why. I just seem to do good at them. I struggle on the 1.5 miles and road courses, but I like these drivers' tracks.
The unique scenarios, the unique racetracks get you your first win of the season. On to Nashville Super Speedway, another unique racetrack, the concrete 1.33 mile. Before we let you go, Brock, anybody you want to shout out while we have you up here?
Yeah, I would like to shout out to Lincoln Tech, Save 22, Alexander PCs, Indiana Department of Veteran Affairs, NVETS, Above the Yellow Line, and everybody on the fire crew, man. We've really been working hard to get better.
Well, definitely couldn't get any better than this. Again, congratulations on the first win of the season. This is your 2nd podium, so I know you were outside looking in there on that round of 8, so this is perfect for you going into the final race of the regular season.
Yeah, I'm just going to try keeping the momentum up, and hopefully I can get another win.
Price, winner here in the AM class, and that's going to do it for us here in the coverage at Gateway. Hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. If you did, make sure you hit that subscribe